Hi, Rebels. This is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, the interview. I'm your host, Layla, and today we're talking to Formula One racing presenter, Ariana Bravo. Hi, Ariana. We're so excited to have you on the podcast.
Hello.
Can you please start by introducing yourself to our listeners?
I am Ariana Bravo. I'm from London and I am a Formula One presenter.
That's so cool. What do you do as an F1 presenter and how do you prepare ahead of time?
So an F1 presenter can do lots of different things. Most weekends I interview all 20 drivers on stage in front of thousands of people. I mean, it can be tens of thousands of people. And to prepare for a race weekend, I keep up to date with all of the news stories across the weeks leading up to the race. I have a ton of note-taking that I do, so many different notebooks. And I get a good night's rest as well before I work.
Studying and note-taking? Being a presenter sounds just like being in high school. What's your favorite part about Formula One?
My favorite part, I have such a huge respect for the drivers, and there is something unmatched about watching the fastest cars in the world around a racetrack. There is just nothing that compares to that feeling, the sound, the smell. I adore it, and it never, ever gets old.
Ooh, can you describe the sound and smell of being on the track for us?
The sound is this really hearty roar of the engines, and you feel it in your body. And the smell is of the rubber of the Pirelli tires, which I adore, and it's magic.
Can you tell us a funny or exciting story from your time working in F1?
I was doing an interview with one of the team principals, Fred Vasseur, who is the team principal of Ferrari, and suddenly a bird started trying to attack us during the interview, and you see us running and hiding behind one another, and obviously it got aired because we were live. It was just so funny. It was brilliant.
Okay, so you have to share crucial statistics, interview drivers, and dodge the occasional bird. Do you ever get nervous when you're preparing to present?
That is a good question. When I get nervous, I just take a moment, deep breath, and remind myself I'm there because I've earned my spot there. So that's a good way of grounding yourself and getting rid of the nerves.
I'll try to remember that the next time I'm feeling nervous. Speaking of teams, you're an ambassador for the organization Girls on Track UK. Can you tell us about your work as an ambassador?
Yes, I am a Girls on Track UK ambassador, which is a community for women and girls who want to get into Formula One or motorsport more widely, and it is a place where we can share advice with each other and we all support each other and we have each other's backs. It is such a special role for me to hold because that's kind of how I first got into motorsport, through that community. So to now be on the other side as an ambassador, it's one of my favorite things.
That sounds like a really great way to get more girls involved in motorsports. Speaking of girls supporting girls, you read us a story of Susie Wolf, racing driver and advocate for girls in racing. What does her story mean to you?
Susie's story is inspiring to see how she made it both on track and the work that she's now doing. She's an absolute powerhouse within our industry. So it's really full circle for me to now reading her story and working alongside her in the paddock. And she's been such a champion for me throughout my career. We want to be like Susie when we're older.
We all do. Okay, I have one last question. What's one piece of advice you want to give to kids who are listening?
One piece of advice would be, when you figure out what you want to do, which you don't need to know right away. I've only got into this job 3.5 years ago, so you don't need to have it all figured out straight away. But when you do figure it out, go after it with everything, because ultimately one of the big things that will be the difference between the people that make it and the people that don't are that the people that make it didn't quit.
Thank you so much for being here, Ariana. It was great talking with you.
Thank you so much.
Catch you next time and stay rebel.